This is us live right here.
Yeah, well, we don't need to be live for the podcast, son.
Here we go, everybody. Can you understand me?
I'm sure they can.
Go ahead. Talk into your thing. Are you on your screen?
I'm on the screen.
Good.
I'm on the wind screen. Sean!
Good. Okay, we're good.
Said, Sister Christian, know the time has come. Motoring, such the price for life.
Oh, my.
Oh, my God. What's wrong?
Oh, yeah.
You're not down with no Sister Christian?
Oh, no. Something's happening. What's that noise? Is that my alarm?
I don't know what that noise is.
Joe Scally, 3097 seconds. Biz, boys, all these things that we don't need. It's going to be a long one. Pick me up. Tell me.
Am I going to carry the show yet again?
Every day.
Every day.
Every episode. I'm
Look.
not physically on your back.
No.
I'm physically going to climb on his back.
Listen, I will carry you. I will carry you to the finish line. I am not scared.
It's happening. Tell me a story.
Well, let's talk about what just passed. This holiday.
What just passed?
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah. How was your St. Patrick's Day?
I had to work.
Yeah,
I wasn't drinking green beer. Plus, I don't think that's a real thing that Irish people do.
That's fucking gross.
It is gross.
Guinness is already bad when it's brown.
Yeah, look, making it green, you're not going to make Guinness green. But I want to talk about something that's really, really unpopular. St. Patrick.
Being sober?
No, St. Patrick was a Roman.
Oh. So where does that leave us?
St. Patrick was a Roman that lived in England and was captured by Irish raiders. When they talk about St. Patrick driving the snakes out of Ireland, it wasn't, he literally drove snakes out of Ireland. Ireland never had snakes. The snakes that they were referring to are the pagans.
Why?
So here's what happened. St. Patrick's growing up in his town. He's a Roman. He gets kidnapped by Irish raiders. He's taken back to County Mayo in Ireland and held hostage for 8 years. Guy walks 200 miles to the coastline, escapes back to England, where he becomes a priest. And then he makes it his mission to go back to Ireland and convert everybody as punishment for him being held captive for 8 years.
Wait, he started where?
In England.
He started in England.
Yes,
I thought you said
as
he
a
was in
Roman
Rome
citizen.
first. Oh, he was a Roman citizen in England.
Yes.
Really?
Was kidnapped by Irish raiders.
Is that real history?
This is real history.
Irish raiders.
Came over to England.
I didn't know the Irish were doing a lot of raiding.
They were. Because you got to remember, some of them were descendants of the Vikings.
Right, like everyone.
And they had
a lot of descendants of the Vikings running around here. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
A lot of Bjorn descendants.
Drinking Viking energy drinks and all.
Yes.
So, yeah, he was kidnapped, taken to County Mayo, held prisoner for 8 years, escapes, goes back to England, becomes a priest, right? And
Makes
he goes
sense.
back to Ireland to convert everybody as punishment for holding him hostage. And the way he gets the pagans to convert is he uses some of their own mythology in his preaching, right? So the pagans would have big bonfires for certain celebrations. He used that for Easter. On Easter, he held a big bonfire and got all the pagans to come for the bonfire and then incorporated Christianity into it.
Really?
They also used to worship the sun, so the Celtic cross with a circle on it.
Yeah.
He took a sun and glued it to a cross and got all the pagans to join Christianity because he was using one of their symbols in his Christian sermons.
There's a lot of spin-offs from this story.
Yes. So the truth is, it wasn't snakes that he drove out of Ireland. It was all the pagans that he helped get rid of in Ireland because he was mad about being a hostage. And the fact that he was Roman, and people don't like talking about that.
But we just drink green beer.
Yeah, and we talk about little midget dudes, pots of gold, and all that other stuff.
Are leprechauns real?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Bigfoot's real, but not leprechauns?
Leprechauns aren't real, bro. Unless you're watching that dumb movie.
Oh, when I was little, that movie was scary.
Yeah, that's not a cool
I was
movie.
a little guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, the whole movie.
Yeah, and then everybody wants to be Irish on St. Patrick's Day, right? Because it gives you an excuse to go out and get deconstructed and then say you're Irish, but you're not.
Well, as long as they're wearing green, doesn't that make them Irish?
So if I wear a fringe jacket with wampum on it, does that make me Native American?
According to Steven, it does.
Maybe he's not the best judge of character. I don't know.
I mean, he banged a genie from Weird Science, so dude's pimping. Imagine he could just ask her to make him an Irish Indian.
What?
I've got my green leather on with frillies. We've started too early on Sensei Seagal. We should move on. So, I don't know. It's weird how you hear all these histories behind a lot of things that people just take for granted.
Right.
Like St. Patty's Day to me is nothing but the day where the school tries to force you to wear green. My brain is lagging, so my words will be slurred and tired, hungover.
I see that.
Yeah, it's okay.
So let's move on to something more interesting.
It's not because of St. Patty's Day, just so we can be very clear, though. I want to be very fucking clear about this. I did not drink on St. Patty's Day. I did watch some people that we know drink on St. Patty's Day. And I wasn't because I was hanging out with people. I just happened to run into them, by the way.
Got you.
So
you.
We're very clear.
All right, so let's move on.
Uh-huh.
When you stay in hotel rooms or stay in strange places,
Yeah.
do you ever search the room for hidden cameras?
I absolutely sometimes do. Not all the time. It depends on what kind of day I'm having. It also depends on who I'm with.
Okay.
You know, with some random dude, I mean, there's nothing to worry about because there's nothing going on that's freaky deaky.
Okay.
You know.
So it's only if you're worried about freaky deakiness that you're looking for cameras.
If I'm with a beast, then...
Dude, I'm always looking for Chinese butthole cameras.
Out of the toilet?
Bro, dude.
Chinese butthole cameras. What are the fucking Chinese like aliens? They're obsessed with
they
probing?
put those secret cameras in your toilet, and the next thing you know, you're all over in Guangdong, China. You're all over the internet there, people watching you poop, bro.
Man, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. That's all I'm saying.
I am not down with Chinese butthole cameras by any means.
For the content in existence, I'm sure there is something like that. So,
simple way to defeat that: turn off all the lights, turn on your cell phone camera, because a lot of these cameras use IR, and if you look through the screen, a lot of times your cell phone camera will pick up that IR light.
What?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dead serious. If you don't believe me, you can Google-ate that shit.
Google-ate it.
Google-ate it. Dude, you just need to start searching for fucking Chinese butthole cameras, bro. Because they can put them anywhere.
I mean, if they can make some money off my movies, I'm more power to them.
No, I'm not down with that.
They go all the way through all that trouble.
I'm not down with that, bro. Check your vents.
I'm not down
check
for
the
it
toilet.
I'd be more inclined
mirrors.
to check the vents for money.
Oh, you think people are hiding money in the vents?
Well, so-and-so comes, he hides money there. Something happens, he has to leave
check
quickly.
The plugs.
Yeah, right.
Check the clock on the
You ever do the
nightstand?
You ever do the black light trick?
No, I never want to do the black light trick
No,
in a hotel,
you
bro.
don't want to try it?
No. You would never stay in another hotel room as long as
Should
you
we
live.
just start a YouTube channel where all we do is go from hotel room to hotel room checking black lights?
No.
That's a lot of money just to fucking wave a light around.
Yeah, bro. That's
what do you
so
do
gross.
with the room after?
I'm not spending $100 to see that the room is coated in DNA.
100 if we want. I mean, honestly, if we want more content, we would just pay the cheaper prices.
That's what. That's what I'm saying.
That's where. You know,
you're saying
$100 is 50-50. You might have grandma just chilling there for the weekend to hit the bingo convention.
That's not to say that the person before them didn't just
no, of course.
slather that room in
I'm just
DNA.
saying the probability of her staying in the 1 hour bank pay fucking Roach Motel is a lot slimmer if she's,
sure.
Grandma's got money because she's retired,
right.
She's going to the bingo hall with her friends.
Hit the slots.
Right.
Get that buffet.
She orders warm oatmeal raisin cookies with black coffee.
Right.
Right.
before she goes down to the slots.
Right.
And then, or goes
She's
to the
only allowed to
racetrack.
have a little bit of caffeine, though, so it's a half a cup that she drinks, and she leaves the other half on the counter.
Or she does half regular, half decaf.
Oh, my God.
Right.
And that guy spat in it before he brought it up, so there's that.
No, they don't do that to old ladies.
They don't?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
No.
I'd be sad if someone spit in my grandmama's coffee.
But I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I would be pissed.
You can't say that on the podcast. You have to say sad.
I'd be sad.
We're not allowed to be pissed in America.
Okay. I'd be sad.
Against regulation.
Okay. I'd be sad. I would be sad.
I would be sad as I over and over. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so.
Look, turn on your cell phone camera. Turn out the lights. Look for the IR light that's coming off that spy camera. They put you all over the internet.
So inherently, we could use cell phone cameras to fight the government looking for IR lasers in the dark.
Your words, not mine.
Does anybody want to test this out? Hold on. Before the pandemic, they were doing a lot of laser IR cell phone stuff in Hong Kong.
Yes, they were.
A lot of cell phone stuff.
Yes,
a lot of encrypted messaging. A lot of, now again, the camera thing, I'm not so sure, but you get one of them 1,000-watt lasers or whatever and burn through them cameras.
Right.
You need a backup laser for the cell phone, for the, there should be I'll bet there's, so in the travel community of people who go all over the world that are into security, I'll bet there's like an entire protocol to do when you arrive at a
location.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Right.
I'm sure there is. Sweep the room.
Right.
Looking for butthole cameras.
Looking for leprechauns hiding in the drawers.
Looking for bugs, listening devices.
Right. Looking for money, loot.
Never talk in the room, just write messages to each other.
Definitely got to check under the mattress for hookers.
Oh, dead hookers.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was a good film.
Yeah, that was a good film. 4 rooms.
4 rooms.
4 rooms.
Yeah, that's a great one.
With Antonio Banderas, right?
So good.
Yeah.
That was.
That's an underrated movie, by the way.
No way. Not even underrated, bro.
No, it didn't get the acclaim. It didn't get the acclaim.
Really?
Yeah. And by the way, you know who wrote that section?
Who?
Robert Rodriguez wrote that section of the movie.
Of course he did.
Yes.
Of fucking course he did.
Yes, he did.
That's a great fucking movie.
And did you know that's what spurned him to do Spy Kids? That entire series of movies was spurned off of him writing that section in that movie.
Now that is interesting, because isn't it the same actors? It looks like the same kids.
It is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and what he came up with...
Bro, my mind is blown right now.
Dude, when
because
he
you
wrote
just connected
that,
big dots.
He was like, dude, they look like little James Bonds. And then he wrote Spy Kids off of that.
Oh my goodness.
And he said in the movie Spy Kids, every character in that movie represents a different person in his family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Antonio's in Spy Kids, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't watch that crap, but my kids did.
Yeah.
And I remember, I always see it and I'm just like, God, what a silly theme. An undeveloped wannabe fucking Mexican 007 or some shit, Spanish 007, whatever the fuck it is.
Yes.
I've personally never seen the movie, but like literally,
dude, they were blockbusters. There was like 3 of them.
I know. I just, I was a single, or not a single parent, but I was a young parent when those were coming out. So
it's amazing.
I just wasn't really
how all of that spun off of that one
an adult
movie in that one
of a
section
dead hooker.
Of a dead hooker in a mattress.
Should go watch 4 Rooms and then Spy Kids with your children in like one night. A 007 night.
007.
This is below the border 007 night. The fuck is happening right now? Wow.
Yes. Interesting how I connected those dots.
We should just stop the podcast right now. That's it right there. That was the whole thing.
That's it.
That's the most knowledge we're gonna get.
No way.
Butthole cameras, lasers, fighting thermal NVG with or not thermal whatever with your cell phone camera. You'll be able to track it. Just put it up. Imagine that you're sitting on your second floor of your house. You don't see anything in the dark in your field in front of you, and then you pop your cell phone up, and there's a bunch of little dots that show up everywhere.
I'd be concerned.
Yeah, might be aliens. Might be Bigfoot.
It could be a whole lot of things.
Could be a SWAT team.
Could be Chinese butthole cameras.
Could be Chinese butthole cameras. Oh my God. Could be the T-1000.
Could be the T-1000.
Fuck.
Right? Singularity's coming.
We're in trouble.
The singularity is coming.
So.
I got another question for you.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
Did your neighborhood have a bicycle chop shop?
So. No, I would say probably not.
You didn't have that one house in the neighborhood where you could take your bike down there and you get modifications done to it?
Oh, yeah, that one. I was thinking on the criminal side of like, I didn't know where they were taking all the bikes they were stealing. They were definitely stealing them, but I can't, confirm that I ever saw where they were going.
Where they were going.
There's always that dude who has like in the summertime who sells bikes.
Right.
Of course, the further back I go in my life, the less likely there was of some dude randomly selling bikes for good prices. Mostly those were just,
No, dude, growing up, I had that kid down the street, right? You could take your bike down there and be like, oh, I want this new 2-finger brake, handbrake, right?
Right.
And you'd pay him like $25 or whatever. And the next thing you know, you'd come back a week later and then you'd have that handbrake installed on your Huffy.
Oh, my.
Your Huffy Pro Thunder, right? Or you're like, oh, I want these special modification. Right. And then the backyard was just filled with parts and bicycles and stuff like that. And they would monster together some stuff. Dude, that kid, his dad made him forks out of 2 giant water pipes. So he had like 8 hangers on his bicycle with a banana seat and a big giant sissy bar in the back. Oh. And then he had like 6-foot forks with a tiny little wheel in the front. So it looked like a chopper.
A chopper, yeah.
Dude, but this is way before people started doing chopper bicycles.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, it was sweet because you could go down there and get anything done to your bike. Anything you wanted done, right? You just had to have the cash.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
No. Bikes were going missing all the time. Again. But no open shop for me. Plus, I didn't get my first bike till I was like 16.
What?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
My mama bought it for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Right after no, it was right before, but she was like, you can use your stupid ass bike to pedal to the next city where you got to go to school now because you're in a different district. I was like, all right, thanks, Mom. That's how that worked out. So it was a nice mountain bike from like Montgomery Wards or some shit. It was supposed to be a mountain bike and it weighed like a fucking shit ton. So I don't know I don't know if mountain bikes are supposed to weigh a lot, but I don't think so. But this one did.
It didn't. So it was like you're pedaling bricks.
Oh yeah. 20 different fucking gears and you don't understand, like what the fuck is the point of them?
What they're supposed to do for you?
No, yeah, back then definitely I did not.
Like I'm gonna date myself. I'm gonna date myself. Yep. Growing up, I wanted the Schwinn bicycle.
Yeah.
That had the ape hangers, right, and the sissy bar and the banana seat.
Yeah.
And it had the shifter on the crossbar right between your legs.
Wow, that is a little bit older.
It had like a gear shifter.
One. Really?
Right? Oh, dude, that thing was so sweet.
I'm gonna have to find you one now.
Dude, they're super expensive now.
What?
They're like, if you want one, they start at like $600, $400, something like that.
Oh, that's not a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for a bike for a kid.
Bro, I did a little bit of riding, and by that I mean I pedaled in the back while the other guys did cool stuff. But I bought when I was an adult, I bought a flatland bike. One flatland bike, and then one...
Is that one of them fixie bikes that doesn't have brakes? Because I hate fixies.
No. So a flatland bike would be a shorter top tube, so you can do like the cool tricks in place.
Okay.
You're like walking around the bike, you're doing that kind of shit. Not really meant for going anywhere. So the cranks are really tiny.
Okay.
So if you try to go anywhere, you're really fucking pedaling bricks.
You're working
and fucking,
your ass off.
Bro. You go like a half a mile on a fucking flatland bike and it feels like an eternity. You're like, fuck, dude. This is what it feels like when I swim. I'm like getting in the water. My head, I come up to look around. I haven't moved but like 10 fucking feet and I've been pedaling for like 30 fucking minutes. Dude, that's like, pretty much my life.
Like a midget trying to run a marathon?
Oh, brother.
I'm sorry, little people. I mean, whatever the term is. Whatever the term is.
Yeah, so so I bought a flatland bike. That was like $380. So it's not, that's the beginner entry one. So It's not that crazy. Bikes are.
Did it have pegs, or did you have like the pegs on the
front
back?
and back?
So people can stand on them?
No, you're supposed to stand on them. Right. All I did was ever bang my shins up with it, but that's all right. And then
you know what the worst thing is? Like with those pedals that had like the gription on them, the spikes. It's like your foot would slip off the pedal and the wheel would spin around and it would catch you in the shins.
So I saw that meme the other day.
Or in the back of your leg and just rip you open.
Yeah, the old school leg scrapers, right? Because they thought that was a good idea. So my other bike did have that. The second bike that I bought was like $600, and it was like a dirt jump bike. And so that's the same thing, though. You're not going anywhere on that bike because the cranks aren't super big, but they're not super small either.
Okay,
they're just right in the middle. There's no gears, right? That's the word. Like you can't change it or anything.
Right.
It's literally, and then it's meant for hitting gravity jumps.
Okay.
So you're using your momentum is what you're supposed to use. So yeah, pedaling down the street, not so good.
Okay.
Spent a whole summer riding those.
I bet you had some strong ass legs.
Sure.
Kick over a fire hydrant.
Bro. Sure. I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take it. I don't think anything was going on.
There was a lot of. You went to the gym and all you did was leg day.
Yeah, there was a lot of falling that summer. A lot of falling. So that was my
your
summer
legs were
falling.
so strong they would just pull you to the ground?
Oh my God.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say my fat ass trying to do some bunny hops and do some bar sits and some fucking tornadoes and God knows what else. I don't know. Fucking falling on my face. And the guys that I rode with, they were into trials. You know that stuff, right?
No, I don't even know what that is.
So a trials bike it's a regular, it looks like a regular bike, but the tires are bigger, thicker, and fatter, and they're not fully inflated.
So you can ride off-road?
No, it's so you can ride on pipes. So those are those dudes that are jumping. All they do is jump. Those bikes don't even have seats most of the time. Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's made for doing tricks. Like you see, like there's a guy who rides for Red Bull. He's a super famous trials rider. It's like dudes jumping from like actual like the rail you grab to go down the stairs. They can jump on them and they'll run the brakes so hard that they'll bunny hop across a bar and shit. It's fucking wild, dude.
It sounds wild.
I'd never heard of it until I met these guys where I bought the bikes from, actually. I went in and I was like, hey man, I want to be a flatlander this summer. I can only do it at nighttime when my kids are sleeping, but I'm here. So they hooked me up and they were like, you want to go riding? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So again, I was just pumping behind them trying to keep up. And my little tiny bike did not keep up, by the way. Not even a fucking little bit, bro.
So you catch up with them a half an hour later?
Fuck yes. It was terrible. And these guys are all like dudes who've been biking forever. Like the one dude was telling me one day, he's like, hey man, I got this new seat on my bike. It's got a push button. And I was just like, what the fuck would you need a button for on a seat? And it's like a remote on the handlebar, right? Well, it goes up and down. So when he knows he's going somewhere where the seat could possibly probe him like a fucking alien, he'll hit this button and the seat drops. It's the craziest thing ever, dude. Hydraulic seat. Dude paid over like $300 for his seat.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Look, I've got
pro. This dude was pro though. Like he actually took me to the local bike. They have a bike course where it's all dirt and it's jumps and they have ramps and all this shit. It's a really beautiful place. And all I could do was go from spectator zone to spectator zone because he's like, hey, you going to drop in? And I'm like, no, dude, I'm not going to drop in on your 40-foot drop. The fuck? I just got this bike like last week. What do you want from me? I got kids and shit. I don't have time for this. So I spent the whole time wheeling around this it's in an abandoned like warehouse. It's fucking crazy. But I watched these kids. These young fucking kids just doing jumps and drops. First time I ever seen a kid do a backflip on a scooter too.
Get out of here.
I was right when scooters were getting big. Razor scooters were super huge.
Right.
They were already big, but kids were starting to do.
Not like the Amish scooters.
Right, no. The push wheel one, yeah. No, these dudes were, and so they started,
it looks like a fucked up elliptical machine.
Yeah. I like that one. They have a new bike or a new scooter that looks like that. And I think
with oblong wheels.
No. Have you seen this? It's a scooter where you walk on the scooter and the scooter moves you.
What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Why don't you just walk?
I don't know. What's the point of a scooter?
It's like a skateboard. with handlebars.
Yeah. Nerdy shit.
No, that's for the people who can't skateboard.
I can't skateboard. I'm from the fucking skateboard capital of the world and I can't skateboard. I think I rode
they invented the scooter for people like you?
Right. I rode, I skateboarded for one summer too.
Okay.
It was a whole summer and it was like right before the year ended. So I skateboarded once, I skateboarded for a couple months to school till I almost got hit by a cop. And I was like, I'm done with this shit. Fucking dude put me on my ass. I'm not sure whose fault it was, but let's just say it was his.
Okay.
Because what happens is, how it's the cop's fault is when he leaves you alone. You know what I mean? Like he put me down almost like fucking bumper to face, like fucking close, get up and he's looking at me like, get the fuck out of the way. Right. So, and he doesn't say anything. That's how this motherfucker knows it's his fault. He was making a right-hand turn and I was coming off the fucking curb. Right.
Right.
So yeah, that was the end of that.
And that ended your skateboarding career?
Man, I sucked at skateboarding. Who cares?
Listen, I skateboarded for a couple of years.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
A couple of years?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years.
Jesus, that's commitment.
And then I got this new skateboard, and I was on this newly paved road.
It got stolen, didn't it?
No, it didn't get
stolen. By a leprechaun who was Irish English.
Roman. Right. Roman leprechauns, right? The world's going to come crashing down.
Oh,
you can't.
Fuck.
It's like Ghostbusters. Do not cross these streams.
Right.
You can't have Roman leprechauns.
Can't have two. You can't have them both.
You can't have them both. It'll ruin everything. Yeah. So I was on this brand new skateboard.
You're going down a smooth road.
It was before they had the real skinny wheels. It's when they still had the big fat rat bones.
Those are sexy.
They still had the big fat rat
bone
wheels.
Yeah, those are sexy. Yeah.
And I was kicking, and I was leaning into this kick, and I was going it felt like 1,000,000 miles an hour down this brand new street. Right. It's perfectly smooth.
Yeah, I was gonna ask: was the street straight, or was it like on a hill or anything?
No, it was perfectly flat. Right.
So you're just enjoying yourself.
Brand new asphalt, and I'm like, man, I'm fine. This is amazing.
I'm the best skateboarder in the world. Fuck you, Tony Hawk. Fuck you.
I was like, fucking Tony Hawk ain't got shit on me, right?
Fuck your dog house or dog pool or whatever it's called.
Dogtown. Fuck all that shit.
Shout out to Tony Hawk.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, what happened?
You fucking biffed it.
Yeah, a tiny little rock.
Oh, a pebble.
A pebble.
A
pebble hit that front wheel.
Dunk.
And launched me.
Oh.
It launched me like a fucking catapult.
Yes.
Right? And I go up in the air and I put out my arm. And as I'm coming down, I locked out my elbow.
Oh, there it is.
And when I hit the ground,
snickety snack.
Broke my forearm right in half.
Oh,
that's
yummy.
Fucking half. Bro.
How old were you?
I was like 15.
Oh, so you're still in the bounce back period?
Yes.
But you were in the period to know that it's annoying as fuck, too.
That was a period to know that my arm was bent at a 45-degree angle in a place where it's not supposed to have a joint.
Oh.
So I picked up my skateboard right under one arm and I cradled my other arm.
Oh.
And I walked to my neighbor's house because I was kind of getting in shock, the cold sweats and feeling nauseous, right? And I kicked their door and I was like, can you please call my mom to take me to the hospital?
Fuck.
My mom came down. She's like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
I told you what skateboarding was going to do to you.
Absolutely.
You're ruining your life.
100%.
Don't tattoo that thing on you. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Bro, I got mad respect for skateboarders.
Oh, dude, I've seen them.
Dudes.
Multiple concussions and just get up,
Right.
They jump off the staircase under that rail that goes down 4 steps and they just fucking smash their skull.
Dude.
And still in that concussed state, they're like, I'm going to do it again.
Right.
Dude,
that probably helps them.
Bro, you're seeing triple of that rail. You should probably not aim for the middle one. Aim for the middle one, bro.
Okay, so here's the ultimate question, most important question that makes you, that's going to define your skateboard career.
Okay.
Or give us an indicator of your skateboard career. Did you learn to ollie?
Yes.
Oh, could you do it?
Yes, I could.
There you go. Now here's another one. Were you advanced enough to ollie up onto the curb?
I was getting to that point, yeah.
Everybody out there's like, you fucking piece of shit. Skateboarder my ass. Give me that shit.
Dude, I was a flatlander.
Right.
I was a flatlander, but I'll tell you what
man.
I did. I'll tell you what I did because I thought I was super cool, right? Because that's back still when skateboards had rails on them.
Yeah. On the bottom so you could grind.
Yeah. So I took off all the rails and I took off the trucks, right?
Oh.
I sanded down the bottom of the board. right?
To ruin the picture.
Right, because I
of
didn't
the
like the
hot
picture.
lady on it.
Right, whatever it was.
Right.
And then I spray painted it matte black, right?
Of course you did.
And then
And then you wrote "Punk's not
Nope.
dead" on the bottom.
Nope, it's even better. I made a Misfits skull stencil.
Oh.
And I got glow-in-the-dark paint, and I painted a glow-in-the-dark Misfits skull on the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I left the rails off. I was like, I don't care. I don't care.
You're a gangster.
This is gangster. But I still had those big, fat, stupid wheels.
Oh, I like those wheels, man. I think they look dope. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what they have now.
Ounces equals pounds, apparently. Maybe if I had the skinny
Not
wheels.
when you're in a cannon.
They...
Not when you're getting catapulted, and don't. Them wheels needed to stop.
All I'm saying is, maybe if I had lighter wheels, I could have volleyed up that curb.
Or I thought you were going to say over that pebble. But I was like, no, you're not making it.
It's probably even worse with the skinny wheels, right?
Fuck.
The flatter skinny wheels,
Dude,
right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Skateboarding was not for me. So I love, it's so funny because it's like, I love the culture, but everything that I love about every culture is never up to date.
Okay.
So when skateboarding was cool when I was growing up, and it was super fucking famous. You couldn't throw a rock without hitting 90 skateboarders where I'm from. Well, they were already doing the Tony Hawk stuff. Like Tony Hawk had already changed the world, right? Like I learned about Tony Hawk from other kids, from video games, Tony Hawk, PS1, or was it PS2? I don't remember either way, but I still liked, it's funny you made that comment about flatland skateboarding because there is flatlanding skateboard. There's actually skateboarding tricks where you do every trick is in place. I don't 100% remember what that's called, but that was what was famous before Tony Hawk changed the game, I think. And then, again, I'm not a skateboarder, so this is just what I viewed, in my life growing up. Because, so you ever watch this fucking movie? We're back to this. Christian Slater.
Was it Gleaming the Cube?
Was that the one where he's on the skateboard?
Yeah.
And he has and he makes like the badass skateboard at the end and he puts it all together. Yeah. And he's got like the fucking...
Gleaming the Cube, right? And then there's Silver Streak, the bicycle movie.
Yep.
About racing a bicycle.
I've seen both of those.
Yes.
Gleaming the Cube, is that the one where Christian Slater literally jumps through a window with his skateboard?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. See, that's the movie that made me want to skateboard. But... So if you watch the end of that movie and go to the credits, do you remember what happens in the credits when they're showing credits?
I can't remember that.
If you watch all the way to the credits, Christian Slater's actually in a garage doing skateboard tricks, like real flatland fucking pick your skateboard up and bounce on the tail of it and all this other shit, right? They say that he learned all this just to do the movie.
That's sweet.
Bro, the fucking fact that this dude was doing these super advanced tricks, I was like, that's wild as fuck, because that means he learned all that within the matter of a few months.
So, no, that means that they paid somebody to teach him how to do all those tricks.
Yeah, of course.
See, nobody was teaching any of us how to do those tricks, right? You had to break your skull 900 times in order to get something down, right?
I wonder if Tony Hawk was, like, famous enough back then to do some of that movie. I don't know.
He might have been. I mean, they didn't have skateboard camps when I was a kid.
Well... So everything's a business now.
Right.
And that's evolved over time. Like it's, you can go to a knitting camp, you can go to a skateboarding camp, you can go to a graphic design camp, you can go to fucking coding boot camps. Excuse me. I can't believe
what a coding boot camp.
Oh yeah. So
for baby hackers?
No. So the Beast, she recruits people. That's what I'm calling her from now on, the Beast.
Okay.
I stole that, by the way. I'm not going to say by who because I'm not giving him credit because fuck him.
Okay.
Oh, fuck him.
It's all right.
Yeah. Anyways, so the Beast, they have a thing where you go pay a college, you go to a coding boot camp. It's like that medical thing we talked about where you send them up for a month and they get many hours.
Yeah.
It's the same thing except for coders. And then you come out and a company looks at you and says, oh, you have this cool little baseline. Let me pick you up and give you a fucking job.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Is that how you go work for the NSA?
No, you have to know Steven to do that.
I think we're giving that dude too much credit at this point.
Well, you know what? He earned it. Kelly LeBrock. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Oingo Boingo. We're back to this again.
Oh, yes. Oingo Boingo.
I know. You asked me the other day why. He just transcends.
Just transcends.
Bro, The Simpsons. You know he wrote that.
Who?
Danny Elfman.
Did he?
Yeah. The Simpsons, all the MIB soundtracks, Tales from the Crypt. That's him, bro.
Oh, see, my man's prolific.
Millions. I'm going to look it up someday and put it on the podcast now.
My man's prolific.
He just goes through it. Pretty much every single Tim Burton movie.
Okay.
That's all Danny Elfman.
Okay. What happened to him doing his own music?
He was going deaf. Yeah. Straight up, bro. He was like, fuck this. I'm out. I'm going deaf.
I'm just going to write
quit.
Jingles.
Right.
Nobody's going to care
right.
if I can't hear or not. But Beethoven was deaf, and nobody seemed to care about that.
Yeah, but he wasn't performing on stage with amps. He was performing on stage with a fucking piano.
It wasn't even a piano. It was a harpsichord.
Oh, God. My education.
Right. And he would play with his... We play with his ear plastered to the harpsichord.
I should know more about this and less about Tony Hawk. That's all I'm saying.
What do you want? It's just saying. It is what it is, right?
Right. I mean, you know, it's funny that you've seen that Christian Slater movie because that's like one of the only skateboarding things. Oh, but back to what I was saying about liking different things. Like these kids all wanted to do half pipes. They wanted to do quarter pipes. They wanted to do pools. They wanted to do grind bars. They wanted to do stair jumping. All I wanted to do was stand in one spot and do cool shit on a skateboard.
Or was it you just wanted to use it as a mode of transportation until you got run over by a cop?
That too. That's another thing too. So same thing with a bike. Like I like the flatland. Do you think
if you had never been run over by a cop that you may have progressed to Dogtown?
I didn't even get run over. It's not even that cool. He just knocked me over.
I would call you Dogtown Tyler.
Let's be honest. I think Dogtown. Fuck. That's a cool name though. So let's be honest. I'm trying to give myself the right credit here. I'm 99% sure I more fell off the board in front of the car is what happened. It was a perfectly timed, I'm going down and the asshole who might hit me happened to be a cop.
Okay.
So now we're back to maybe it wasn't his fault. Maybe it was my fault.
But then he thought it was his fault and that's why he didn't say anything.
Right. He's like fucking skateboarder kids. You know, in Cali, that's the main sign, right?
Right.
So you don't need anti-trafficking. You don't need anti-drug. You don't need anything. All you need is a big sign that says no fucking skateboarding.
That's it.
No rollerblading. They're plastered everywhere.
Right, because those people can't keep themselves off of stuff.
Well, yeah.
And then literally, they can't keep themselves off of anything.
And so, like, all the skaters.
It's like that dude now who's on his rollerblades, and all you see is all the videos of him going, "This is the peak of male performance." It's this big fat chop
dude,
on rollerblades.
I love guys like that too. Here's what scares me though. As we've discussed, that old boy hits one dunkaroo, and he's gonna have bones sticking out of all kinds of places with all that mass behind that shit. Homeboy does not bounce.
No, he doesn't.
Gravity's gonna be fickle when it comes to him. Okay, he's going down.
What's it? Oh, dude, when he hits something, he's going to slap it like silly putty and stick to it. It's going to be impressed. It's going to be impressed on his body.
Like a... Dude, you know what I'm saying, too. Yeah, here, I'm not going to make the sound anymore, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be meat on meat, except for one of those meats is going to be concrete. Concrete meat on meat.
Dude, it's going to be terrible.
And if he belly flops,
forget it.
Oh my.
You're talking about crushed organs.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking about collapsing lungs here. Homeboy's doing some shit on those skates. I'll tell you. So I love skating. I rollerbladed more than I did skateboarding.
Flatland skateboarding?
Yeah. I was an aggressive, I'm using air quotes right now, an aggressive rollerblader. Not really though. But I didn't get my skates.
Were you jumping on shit?
I was, yeah, but it's harder to do. It's hard. So my mom, that's one of those ones where my mom didn't listen because I was like, "Hey, mom, I need some aggressive skates," and she came home with inline skates, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I gonna do with these?"
Oh, you wanted roller skates like the 60s and 70s?
No. So
with a big pom-pom on the toe.
So regular rollerblades are longer, and they have a wheel that actually extends past the rear and the front of the shoe, right?
Okay.
So an aggressive skates only goes to the end of your foot. because they're made for jumping on shit. They're made so you don't get clapped up.
Maybe she
So
should have bought you wheelies instead.
Right. Oh, dude, Wheelies came out just as I was too old for them. Fucking bastards. I'm late to everything. I'm going to be late to my own fucking funeral. I've got the worst timing in the world.
You don't see people on wheelies doing jumps and plastering themselves to everything that they shouldn't be on.
You know why, though?
Why?
Because you can't grind with those. They've only got one wheel. You need two. Yeah, that's all. They're jealous. You know what I really fucking hate?
What's that?
Is seeing adult men who have fucking shoe sizes the size of little kids so they get to wear wheelies. I've literally been in the mall and some fucking 40-year-old goes gliding past me and I'm just like, you motherfucker, they don't make that fucking shit in my size.
So
my foot's slightly too big.
Is it you're an asshole or you're jealous?
Oh, I'm supremely jealous.
Okay, so
1000%.
they're not an asshole for wheeling past you at an
no.
indoor mall.
No, I love
on
it.
the way to
I love it.
to the pretzel joint.
So again, back to loving things for what they are. I like the wheelie because it's a dope. Dude, you imagine you're just walking, you see some hot bitch, and you're like, what's up, ho? And you wheelie past her as you're saying it. You're wheeling past her, like doing the slow, what's that girl's name?
The Queen Elizabeth
with the wave. Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth
you do the
wave.
Queen Elizabeth as you go by. You're like, punk's not dead, bitch. I'll see you later. Catch me outside in the fucking parking lot. What's up, food court? You could buy me a pretzel. I'm saying.
I'll be over at the Hot Panda or whatever that Chinese joint is.
Right. I learned a little Korean from the Chinese restaurant. Wait, speaking of that, hold on. So our engineer, when he was little, he was in kindergarten. He came home and he knew his dad, I would reference other languages, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, hey dad, I met this kid who speaks Spanish like you. I said, what? ¿Qué dices, amigo? Right? Yeah, dad, he speaks Spanish. I said, that's interesting. So he's telling me this, in a couple of years, like a year goes by. He's been telling me, he's like, yeah, my friend was speaking Spanish today. It was dope. I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool, son. You should learn something. You can speak to him. So I teach him a little bit of Spanish, whatever. One day, we're at the Chinese restaurant, the local Chinese restaurant. Amazing food. Shout out to those guys. I'm not going to put their name out there, but I love
Because
them.
it's that good, you don't want to give them a shout.
No, I'm not giving you shit. It was right down from my house, so I can't say it. But so we're down there, and my son's still, kindergarten, whatever, first grade. We walk into this place, and he goes, hey, dad. It was his mom, actually. Hey, mom. He goes, you see that little kid on the picture on the wall with those people? She goes, yeah. She goes, that's my friend who speaks Spanish. So for like a whole year, I'm thinking my kid's talking to some kid in Spanish. Fucking kid speaking Chinese, bro. Not a good teacher here.
So your son's speaking Spanish to a kid who speaks
Chinese to him. And they're trying to communicate.
And nothing's happening.
No, I don't think so. And of course the kid's name is like Steven, right? Or something. I don't know. The Beast knows the story better. But it was just funny because here we are in this Chinese restaurant. That's my friend Steven who speaks Spanish. I'm thinking, I don't think that's a thing, Sonny.
Unless he was a Chinese kid who was speaking Spanish with a Chinese accent.
What the fuck?
No, listen, you think that shit's funny, bro?
No, yeah,
listen,
I know.
Listen, I was in high school, right? And and I'm taking 2 languages in high school because I think I'm going to be slick, right? So I take German and I take Spanish. I take Spanish because I want to be communicating with my old man, right?
Of course.
Turns out
he doesn't speak Spanish, but yeah.
Turns out my Spanish teacher was from the Pyrenees Mountains on the border of Spain in France.
Which is a different kind of Spanish.
And she's on the French side of the mountains. So she was teaching us Spanish with a French accent.
Oh,
So every time I would come home and try to speak to the old man's like, that's not fucking Spanish. Stop
did you
talking
just
to
say?
me. Yeah, he would get
Be quiet.
pissed.
Really?
He would be like, stop speaking that. That's not real Spanish.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He was serial, bro. He was
That's
serial.
interesting. So from learning, because I learned my second language when I was young, like 6, 7 years old is when I started.
Right.
Maybe younger.
Right.
Well, so I can hear accents in Spanish, but
Right.
I can't. it's not that I can hear him and tell you, like, I couldn't hear you speak Spanish and tell you where you're from. I can just tell that you're different than him and he's different from him. You know, like you listen to Puerto Ricans talk, it's like blah, 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 blah. It's so fucking fast.
Right.
I can't keep up with it.
Right.
You know, what at all.
It's much different than, say,
Mexican Spanish
or South American Spanish.
Right. And every single one is different. So that's what I can pick out. But I never thought about that. Like the fact that you might have an accent until I was the first time I ever noticed or learned that was when I was studying French, because French Canadians versus
real
French European versus
totally
American French is just, wow.
Prime example. Me and my old man were in Canada, in Quebec, and my dad spoke several languages, one of them being French, and he's speaking French to the people in Quebec.
Right.
And they were giving him the fucking stink eye and treating him like shit, because they didn't like his French accent. And he would have been better off speaking English.
Dude.
Like, they were abusive to him because they didn't like his French. Like, he would have been better off speaking English, bro.
People are wild.
And I was like, fuck you guys. Here's my old man making an attempt to communicate with you in your native tongue, and this is how you're treating him. I was pissed.
Let me show you. I don't want to revert back, but I'm going to, because we already got on it.
What's that? Roman St. Patrick?
No, fuck that guy. I don't even care about St. Patty's Day.
Roman
let's talk about
leprechauns?
Let's talk about our guy Danny here. You're looking at The Simpsons.
Yeah.
The Force Awakens from its nap, which it's a Simpsons like knockoff. You're talking about Justice League Action, 50 Shades Darker, The Girl on the Train. Wait, these aren't even the famous ones. Hold on.
So listen, your dude,
where are the famous
100%
ones?
stone deaf.
9. He didn't. That's on track for 9. Bro, you know,
he's stone deaf and he's writing music for all these people, and they're like, "It's amazing music."
He's not deaf. He was just going deaf.
Okay.
And Oingo Boingo was at their pinnacle. Like, Oingo Boingo was huge on the West Coast, and I'm sure they leaked over to here. Oh, I just hit the table. Owie. So I'm sure they leaked over to here without a doubt. I meet people all the time that know them and stuff, but like they were really big. They're like a Halloween type style party band that's mixed with ska and all that other shit. Because they had like 10 fucking people in the band. Charlotte's Web, he did the 2006 Charlotte Web remake, Monster House, Corpse Bride, Spider-Man Plant. It just, dude, it goes on forever. Let me see if I can hit the old ones. Hulk, Chicago, Novocaine, The Simpsons. Like, there's 10 Simpsons movies here that he's fucking done. I know there's a bunch of classic ones. Oh, he did the Psycho soundtrack for the TV one. So you're saying
he was as prolific as Prince?
I'm not going to go there.
Or Tupac.
To me.
Because apparently Tupac's coming out with a new album.
Well, yeah. A bunch of the Batmans. Everybody knows.
Does that mean Tupac never died?
Dude, everybody knows.
If he's coming out with a new album.
I think it's creepy how they do that. I think it's supremely creepy. Little Peep died and he fucking dropped like 2 albums since then too. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude.
And then
all that unreleased music, right?
And then they did a song with Little Peep and X, and then X died right after. And you're just like, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. First of all, R.I.P. to my boys there. Young Guns. Those are young trendsetters, we'll say. That's the best I got. So here's what's really fucking creepy. If they did those bars and they recorded them and then some engineer just comes in and matches them and chops them up, did they really do any of that song?
No, that's a good question. Is that really what they would have wanted?
Right.
Is that really what they wanted?
Right. Homeboy's in his grave fucking punching shit like, God damn it, you guys are fucking up my legacy.
That's not what my sound was.
Right.
Oh. So, I mean, but listen, people sample or remaster everybody's stuff as it is anyway.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's not how it was intended by the original musician.
But they're releasing, but they have a say. That's the creepy part, right? There's no say in this at all. Now, let's say we're buddies and, I record 1,000 different fucking, bars and songs and everything. And then I tell you, hey man, if I die, I want you to continue our work, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But you're talking about dudes, somebody will die. And again, I can't name a timeline, but I've watched this happen. Somebody will die. And 6 months later, he's on a collab track with 2 guys that are alive.
Right. So my thing is this. When I die, are you going to release those 10 albums?
I am.
I'm not giving you permission to release those 10 albums.
It's too late.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what the government does, and I'm going to rebrand it. So it'll be Joe Skelly, but it's not going to be Joe Skelly. It's going to be Skelly Jose. And so something like the Skelly Jose. I don't know what the word is for when you go and do a side project, but yeah, that's what it's going to be, a side project.
Okay. Like Frank Black.
The remix.
Like Frank Black when he left the Pixies.
Yeah. Did he leave the Pixies?
Well,
yeah,
there was that period of time where he left the Pixies. And then
I can't keep up with that. There's like all of our bands are we were just talking about that. All of our bands are trading people.
Yes.
All the fucking time.
All the time. All the time.
Even my favorite bands in the world do it. Jason Newsted ended up performing for Metallica no. I got it backwards. Hold on. Jason Newsted went from Metallica to Ozzy. And then Ozzy lost that bassist who was playing with him and touring with him, and he ended up joining Metallica or something weird like that. And then there's John Five. John Five went from he went from Manson to Zombie to Ozzy back to Zombie, and just it's very small circled.
Yeah, but it's not like that Filipino dude who took over singing for Van Halen.
Is that a real thing? Get the fuck out of here. Is that true?
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I used to think that
it's not Van Hagar anymore.
When I was young, I always thought Van Halen was the name of the lead singer. It's a fucking name. Like, it's a weird, the band's called Steve Jobs. Like, you'd think the guy's name was Steve Jobs, like
the front man.
John Smith, okay, John Smith must be no, it's not the lead singer, it's the drummer, dickhead. Oh, well, I don't know that. Like,
how would I know?
Fuck? Remember David Lee Roth's Kung Fu shit, right?
No. No.
No, yeah. Wait, it's David Lee Roth. That's the lead singer of Van Halen, right?
It was.
Am I crazy?
Sammy Hagar
yeah.
and David
So
Lee Roth.
he used to come out and do those fucking big split kicks and shit, remember? And he'd do the Kung Fu broadsword shit.
Yeah.
So I heard recently, on good account, from our homeboy from Black Flag, who said that David Lee Roth sits he bought a house in Japan, and he studies sword over there. That's all he does. On the beach. He sits on a beach and studies the sword all day.
Good for him.
That is the most gangster shit I've ever heard.
When you got that much money, you can do whatever you want.
Bro, I'm trying to make that my life.
What? Sit on the beach in Japan and practice sword all day?
I had a school picked out. And an apartment to live away from the job that I was going to apply for out of high school.
Get out of here.
Yes.
That's for
Bro,
sure.
I'm telling you. I had my whole life mapped out when I was like 10. I picked a dojo. I picked an instructor. I was like, all I got to do is get stationed in this one little part.
Right.
And I'll be good.
You'll be Gucci.
Yeah.
You'll be Gucci.
I never made it to the Black Sands, baby. I'm going to get there, though.
Gucci bandana.
Fuck with it. We going.
You're trying to be Gucci bandana.
Gucci bandana. That's my side. Gucci bandana and Skelly Jose. Oh. Breaking genres. Breaking genres.
Breaking genres. Dude, those 10 albums I've got locked away are there to be locked away, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Don't be a greedy bastard.
Listen,
the world
Uncle
deserves to
Mike's
hear it.
Backyard Wagon Jump Track.
What the fuck just happened? That's going to be the remastered album. Right
No,
there.
it's not even an album, bro. That's the name
That's
the name of the group, bro.
Too late.
Uncle Mike's Backyard Wagon Jump Track. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that.
That was delicious. This chocolate milk is so good. I'm going to be up all night. I'm fucked.
Yes, you are.
But I needed it.
Welcome to the terror.
My brain is pounding from working yesterday. It's pounding it all night.
Banging it out.
I didn't wake up today until you called me. It was horrible.
Banging it out.
Yeah. No, I'm not cutting it. Joe Skelly's telling me to cut it. We're not. We need those bars. This is 97 seconds of shit you can't use. Man. We're Gucci.